Okay, is it obligatory? Okay, cool. We are back. It's been some time. I think it's probably 4 weeks since I've done an episode. We are on the, not in the, on the. It's the 27th of March. That's what I'm trying to say. I think. Yes, it is. This is actually, very importantly, a Saturday, which is great. And also, F1 starts again.
Ooh.
How exciting.
I can't control myself.
Qualifying is this afternoon at 5.
Yeah, what first is practice 3 at 2, eh?
Yeah.
Final practice.
But of course, practice, I'm not so keen on watching practices always because I don't think manufacturers take it that seriously as they do with qualifying, of course.
Of course.
But quickly, before we introduce you, prediction for the top 3.
Top 3.
Okay, qualifying, top 3.
Qualifying top 3.
And then also your race top 3.
I think pole position Verstappen, and then Hamilton in the mix. But as you
in
said,
the mix meaning like top 3, top 5?
Top 3 in the mix. And as you said, Bottas is always very eager at the start of a season, so maybe a second or third, and I look out for McLaren somewhere.
Wasn't it last season like Bottas 1-2? No, wait, sorry, that was 2019. It was like Bottas Hamilton like 1-2, like switching up for like the first 3 to 5 races.
Yeah, it
was something crazy, and then suddenly like Verstappen got a win and things got crazy. Last season was quite exciting. Hopefully this season wouldn't be too bland in terms of the beginning, like too unexpected or too expected, rather unpredictable. With Hamilton and Bottas just sort of leading the way. But it seems like Red Bull's quite strong with Verstappen now. McLaren's stepping up heavily. Mercedes engines.
Yeah, I think the Mercedes engine has got a big impact. I think the aerodynamics last year was quite good.
Yeah.
I think they sorted that out. And then that extra bit of power from the Mercedes engines. Because you can see like Alpine is like not lacquer with that Renault engine currently.
Yeah. Renault, there's a reason why Renault is the only one, or Alpine is the only one with a Renault engine. No one else really wants one because it just, like, it's not up to scratch. If you want top 3, want top 5, I mean, who's governing those? It's basically Ferrari, Mercedes, and Honda. Yeah, McLaren was Honda last year.
No, but McLaren was Renault last year.
Was McLaren?
Yeah, they were Renault last year.
Oh,
like,
okay.
If you want to see the problems with Renault engines, like, just go watch Drive to Survive.
But McLaren, of course, they did better than Renault last year.
But that's what I said.
But they had like
the arrows.
The arrow was very good. McLaren was in a bit of a rut also as a company. They sold their headquarters for some unreal amount of hundred millions of pounds.
Yeah.
And they were basically like, it would have been like 2-3 seasons maybe left for them, but actually they're doing very well now. I think Norris is still going to do better than Ricciardo.
I think so as well, because Norris like has already 2 seasons under his belt, like with McLaren.
Yeah.
He knows the engineers, he knows like how they're working. So I think Ricciardo is going to be slower out of the blocks at the start of the season, but I think he's going to get his groove. Also, he comes from Red Bull, and he switched to Renault, where Renault, like the brakes of Renault wasn't as good as Red Bull's brakes. So then you had to adjust that, and that took like half a season. So definitely going to be some adjustment, I think. But like Ricciardo is going to step up later in the season with everything as he gets more comfortable with the car. Yeah.
He's a very exciting driver. Like if you look at his technique and ability in terms of takeovers and basically just cornering ability, like all round, he is one of the most talented drivers like on the grid by far. He's just not performing because he doesn't have the car. Like he is not in pre-2019 Ferrari or current Mercedes. So I think Renault for him was just to get away from Red Bull. Like it was toxic. It wasn't good for him. He just needed to get away, and he knew. Like I think he knew he wasn't going to get titles or like finish podium. 5 consecutive races at a time. But McLaren definitely is a massive step up in terms of that. I just hope that Norris doing better than him, because at the moment it seems like he's going to. I just hope that Norris doing better than him isn't going to be a massive demotivator.
Yeah, like a discouragement to him.
Yeah.
I think like Ricciardo had the same thing with Red Bull a few years back when Max Verstappen came in. He was like the glory boy coming in at, I think, was 17 or something in his first season. And that's the same system as what Seb has with Leclerc, where Seb was the star and then Leclerc came in and it was like, oh, okay. And then he had to leave. So I hope for Seb also, like, moving to Aston Martin is like growing for him again and like giving him new motivation.
Yeah.
So we'll have to wait and see. Eh?
Same situation that McLaren has is also sort of visible in Aston Martin, because Stroll didn't do too badly last year. He's not just the rich dad's son. He's actually, sort of growing into his pants. Like, he's actually doing quite well. And it seems like, looking at testing and practices, that he is giving Vettel a run for his money. Like, Vettel just isn't getting a break, or it doesn't seem like it. But still, very exciting that Aston Martin is coming into the mix.
Yeah.
But what do you think about the Stroll-Vettel combo?
Yeah, I think one thing Stroll lacks quite a lot is the BMT. Like... big match temperament. That's
good, because VWT was their sponsor last year.
But like, what was it? It was a Turkish GP where like he had pole position, he like ruled the race all the way, and then he just lost it. So I think that's something he can work on. But I think Seb is going to be a very good factor towards like maybe growing him as a driver. So we'll see. I think interesting things await there. Definitely.
Yeah.
And also with Checo now at Red Bull, I think Checo's going to give Max some gas, because Checo is also a guy wanting the win. He's not going to stand back. So
yeah. I like Perez. I think he's a very cool driver. He's just been very quiet the past couple of years. Well, that's how it seems to me. Another interesting prospect is Sainz at Ferrari. So Sainz, so going off Drive to Survive, Sainz works unbelievably hard. He's very motivated. He's very committed to what he's doing. So he's just in and of itself, he's a very good driver, very hardworking guy, as you should be when you're racing in Formula One. But I don't think he's going to have that big of a shine at Ferrari. He's going to be second to Leclerc.
Yeah, no, I agree, definitely. I think Sainz is a very hard worker. If you just like look at his father, I think he's almost 60, still driving Dakar and like competing. Like he was just behind Stefan Peter Hansel in this year's Dakar. So that just shows you it's in their mentality to like give it their all, no matter what. But I do agree. I think he's going to be second fiddle. Leclerc is the star boy. He has a contract, I think 2025 or something. He has a very long contract. So, and Sainz only signed for a year. So I think it's going to be very dependable, and also Ferrari's going to see if Sainz can actually take the pressure, because Ferrari does have that extra pressure of, Michael Schumacher and all those like great drivers of the past. So we'll see. One thing definitely, Alpine with Alonso.
I don't know.
Very controversial decision that they made there.
Alonso has had his shine.
No, I agree. I think when he went to try the Triple Crown with Dakar and also IndyCar, and he didn't make it, and I was like, no, let's come back to F1.
Wasn't it that he didn't even qualify for Indy 500? I can't remember now, but I think he didn't even qualify for Indy 500.
Yeah. He qualified for other one, because there's other Indy races as well. But I remember, he was like very low on the list.
Yeah.
I was looking through the list and seeing like where's Alonso, and I was like, no way.
Yeah. Oh. So he definitely brings a lot of brand equity to Renault. So in that sense, I can understand why he's there. You could ask the question, was there no one else? But no, there was someone else, like Hulkenberg. I mean, you can bring Hulkenberg back, or maybe another F2 driver, like what's the guy's name?
You can even go and get Nick de Vries from Formula E, or
if even
like there's a lot of options that was available. Even maybe getting like Callum Allett.
That's the guy I'm thinking about, the F2 driver.
Yeah, but he's a reserve driver for Ferrari this year.
Oh.
He got a contract with them. Or even getting Dan Ticktum, or
someone
like that. Even Zhu, like everybody thought maybe they're going to keep Ocon, get Zhu in.
You see, that's where your expertise comes in, because I know nothing about F2 actually.
So he's actually part of like the whole driver academy of Renault. So very controversial. I think Alpine decided on doing that because they want their brand to grow. You know, definitely it's the switch between Renault and them. I think they did it for a branding perspective.
Yeah,
actually.
I think Alpine, similar to, we were actually having a conversation earlier about Volvo and Polestar, of where Polestar actually wants to situate yourself separately from Volvo. So still sort of affiliated like Renault and Alpine, but they are now a standalone brand producing very quick, very fast electric sports cars. Like that's their focus now. So it's not like an AMG to Mercedes kind of thing anymore. So that's sort of what Alpine wants to do. They want to, create a standalone brand. Like we're all about like sport and racing fast cars, like agile cars, drivers cars. The Alpine 110, the road car, which is, it did very well over its time. Alpine A110S, that also was released, very nippy, very agile sports car that was actually, I think it was sold out, the first range of A110s that also came out, so it did very well. Another brand doing similar kind of things is Seat. You know Seat?
Yeah,
so Seat has the Leon Cupra, which is their like hard hatch basically. Cupra now situated itself also as a standalone brand. So now you get like the Cupra Ateca R, or like, these, which is basically just Volkswagen, Golf 7R engines in whatever cars they have. So there's a few brands trying this kind of strategy to sort of separate itself, but I mean Alpine just sounds cooler than Renault also. Like,
well, the big question is like, does Alonso drive an Alpine A110 or does he drive a Renault?
The thing is, he's probably driving still like a Megane RS. Like, come on. That's also with F1. I'm thinking now. So Aston Martin was the previous affiliate with Red Bull. So Ricardo, you went from Red Bull driving like Aston Martins, like the new Vantage, or like the what do you call it, the Vanquish, the DBS.
Yeah.
Then he went to Renault, the Clio RS, the Megane RS. The Megane RS, that's basically all the cars they have. And then now at McLaren,
the
765LT, Senna, like hectically cool cars. Did you hear what happened to Norris last year? Was it last year, 2019? He took a presenter, I think, or journalist. He took them for a quick test drive lap around with the 720S before a race. He actually crashed the car. And he had to repay, like basically buy a new 720S, which is, at that point, I think he had to pay more than £200,000, and he only earned 400 and something a year. So poor guy, but that is what happens when you send like a 20-year-old around the track.
With 720S. And he's an F1 driver. So he's used to like much more downforce.
It's weird to think that Verstappen got his super license before he got his normal license.
No, that's it.
To drive cars.
That's it.
But okay, we've been going on for quite a few minutes and you don't even know who I'm talking to. So this guy is an absolute legend, good friend of mine, also in my residence. His name is Nico Erasmus. He's going to introduce himself a bit more. But you are going to see a bit more of him. He's going to help out behind the scenes with the social media and everything. But also you probably will be seeing more of him on camera also. So when I'm not shooting guest episodes, even when I'm shooting guest episodes, he's going to be a massive passion for cars. A bit of a different angle to passion for cars than me, which is good. That means we can enter into arguments and we can enter into debates.
Not bad arguments.
Constructive arguments. Leading to a point, not necessarily, but gaining new knowledge. Also from me, I learn a lot from him. So Nico, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling positive. I had a very sore throat this morning, so excuse my voice. I'm having a lekker tea today. So
bit of a rasper sting,
Sexy.
Yeah, very it's like turbocharge.
As I said, in boer soek 'n vrou. Oom sexy.
Sexy, yes, for all you Portugal listeners. But anyway, Nico, give us a bit of an intro into you and your car passion. What's the story?
So I'm a fourth year, it's like final year mechanical engineering student at Stellenbosch. And
so you build engines?
No, I don't build engines.
Oh, not yet.
Well, I'm doing my scripts here on like running tests on a turbocharger compressor system. So it is with cars
basically
in basically and jet engines, but that's a bit more into the futuristic things.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it all started after, well, I'm thinking back in time now. My grandfather's father or his grandfather, I can't remember correctly, had a gas station in Patterson, Eastern Cape, and they moved to Middelburg, and then my grandfather started the fuel station there as well. And then he had a Volkswagen dealership, which only had 2 cars at that time. I think it was Beetles, and then he had that, what do they call them, the Type 2s, which was like the buses and buckies and stuff.
Yeah.
And then later on it grew a bit. We had Jettas, Golfs, things like that also being sold at the dealership. And then my grandfather also had a Toyota dealership at a time and a Massey Ferguson dealership, so tractors obviously. But yeah, a small town there's basically everybody bought their vehicles there, but as times went on, people went to cities to buy other brands, as per se, which wasn't available. But yeah, so that's why our fuel station, like, it's Volksstad Motors, which is Volkswagen basically, and like my whole family drives Volkswagen. So we're part of the movement. And yeah, since I was small, like, just enjoyed cars, the inner workings, how things work, asking my dad, asking my grandfather, even my brother. My brother's also a mechanical engineer. He's 5 years older than me. Like to chat about cars, followed motorsports, F1, rally champs, Dakar, everything. So yeah, I just have a passion for it. I have a passion for designing as well. But it's quite difficult getting into the industry in South Africa currently. So people keeping their secret. But yeah, we'll see one day, maybe.
So what's the dream job looking like for you?
The dream job?
Yeah.
Yes. See. That's quite interesting. So my dream job is actually sitting on a farm and farming.
There we go.
I'm doing some consulting on the side.
There we go.
Maybe for a manufacturer of some sort. But we'll have to wait and see. Never know where the river flows, eh?
Okay, so you're sitting on your farm, okay? What cars are you seeing in the garage?
In the garage?
Yeah.
Well definitely a Amarok V6.
Ooh, not a Hilux.
My town bucky always. Maybe a Land Cruiser V8 for farming,
The 79 series or like the new...
No, newer ones, like...
Okay.
I don't want to struggle too much.
Okay.
Yeah, then definitely I'll make sure I have a nice road so I can have my Porsche 911 Turbo S, Wildtail, red with a black stripe.
Oh, so like old 911 Turbo.
Old 911 Turbo S.
Oh, okay, like Wildtail, the G series.
If you drive through Grafrenet, you'll see, like, as you enter on the left hand side, there's like a big showroom of old cars, and there's one standing there exactly like I want.
So you want the red with the black?
The red with the black.
Yeah, that generation 911 Turbo had those like springy bumper stuff. Basically at the front they had it was sort of just a safety thing, but it also looked quite cool. It had like this big chin. Yeah. But also the Wildtail, it like cars don't have that kind of flair these days.
No, definitely.
That's like olden days Supra or like Escort, Ford Escort, Cosworth, those Cosworth kind of
Escort with those
massive weird wings.
Weird wings that looks like they do nothing, but actually, if you run some tests, they actually have some downforce input. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they do have some downforce
so
input.
It's not just for show?
No, not just for show.
Oh, but of course the downforce would be there because it makes it heavier at the back. So no, there's no aerodynamic. I'm joking. There probably is. I wouldn't say the manufacturers were so out of tune with aerodynamics in that era.
No, maybe like late 70s.
Maybe late 70s.
Late 70s, they were a bit out of tune. They were all like style.
Late 70s and like 90s. Like we chatted about this earlier this week. Like 90s era cars are so weird. Like it's this
didn't make sense
sort of conversion area. No, actually, yeah, late 90s, early 2000s. That was like, so Chrysler went into a bit of a, like American cars specifically, went into a bit of a frenzy because suddenly they're changing their looks from, Cadillac Coupe de Ville style cars, like these massive, bricks with like the most awesome wings at the back, and it just looks amazing. And now suddenly they have to be more sophisticated and modern and Peter Cruiser-like.
Yeah, making a PT Cruiser.
And I mean, the PT Cruiser is a 2000s car, but it's a 1990s invention. Like they had to think of it then.
Yeah.
And there was a car also called like the Chrysler, was it the Crossfire?
I remember
there was
the
Spring.
Crossfire.
Okay, that was a bit later 2000s. They had the most awkward, like looking weird sort of cars.
It was weird shapes. Like in the start of the 1990s, they had like sharp lines, always sharp lines. And nearing the end, everything turned into like roundish things.
Yeah.
Everything was curved, but not like pretty curved.
Like soft.
Yeah.
And 90s was also the era of like buttons. Like interiors.
Yeah, buttons.
All the buttons. Like every one of them you could think of. That. Which look quite cool. Like these days people complain because there's too much screens, too many screen rather, but then it's like it glares when you look at it, or it like gets dirty, or you don't want to touch it, or like it distracts you. Sometimes people want the most easy way, which is a button, click, done, finished, like it's affirmative, press the button, I press the button.
No settings.
It's not like a screen that's like, did I press it? I should probably look if I pressed it. So I'm a button guy. Like I would prefer a button.
No.
Touchscreens do look nice, but I don't know. I guess it's each to its own.
Definitely.
So what area of cars is your passion in? Like what kind of? For me, it's like I love basically anything interesting, but I love supercars, your more high-end luxury cars. Also love all the classics like everybody loves like the 250 GTO, or the 300 SL, but like all the 911s too. So I'm thinking basically anything interesting, but basically more newer kind of supercars ish. That's like mine. What kind of cars make you tick?
Like when we tick, motorsports is a very interesting thing. Definitely, where especially like F1, rallying, of course, is just where the industry can actually like push its limits to see what can actually be achieved from things. Like, for instance, if you look into the F1 era, V12s, V10s, V8s, now V6 hybrids, how much power can you actually get from an engine at the end of the day? Because I believe you can take the same technology you have for the V6 hybrid now and you push it into a V12. Just imagine the craziness you can get from that car. But of course, like some things are just not human capability. Like, I don't think people are going to be really legitimately able to drive a V12 hybrid that's like full on technology, the same as a V6 hybrid.
Well, V12 hybrid, LaFerrari.
Yeah, but that's not like to full potential,
Yeah.
Imagine like, so that's how much? That's 1,000. How much horsepower?
Yeah, about 1,000. Just
about 1,000.
Yeah.
So the V6 hybrid of F1 also gives around about 1,100 horsepower.
Yeah.
So, but remember that's different technology. So if you can take that technology, push it into the V12, you're gonna push that V12's horsepower to like 1,005. Now think open seater, open wheel.
But
at 1,500 HP.
We sort of also do have a car coming like that. It's called the Aston Martin Valkyrie.
Oh, yeah.
V12 cars with engine. Most powerful naturally aspirated engine there is. And also hybrid technology taken into... It's basically a 1-to-1 power to weight ratio.
Oh, that's hectic.
So over 1,300. Yeah, I think it's over 1,300. So put it this way. Brands are going to make these type of cars. Look at Mercedes bringing out the AMG 1.
Oh, yeah.
Which will probably be this year or next year. Basically a 2017 Formula 1 car. It's what it is. With like road capabilities. It has, a number plate and indicators. And it revs at, idles at like just over 1,000, what do you call it, RPM. So manufacturers are making these kind of cars because people want to see those kind of cars, but the people who can buy these type of cars can't necessarily drive these type of cars as they should be able to. Like,
and that's the problem. You can't use it to its full capability. Like, so what's the point then?
I won't say these cars like, some people collect it and let it sit like garage queens, as they say, but some people also do drive it, but they drive it through like city centers, or like you won't really take it out on a as they would say in Britain, a B-road drive, or like going out on a mountain pass, because it's like it's too valuable for its people will be scared, to the most, for driving this car on a normal road, because what if it gets hit? What if what if it can't control the power? What if it loses control? And the cars are unbelievably capable, but then the drivers just aren't. Like your F1 drivers sometimes lose control of these type of cars. Lando Norris,
as you say,
and that's like just a 720S. So Ferrari has a very clever program where they have I think it's very clever in terms of money making, but it's called the XX program. So have you heard of the Ferrari FFX? FXX or
that's built on the Enzo.
So the FXXK is in LaFerrari. FXXK Evo is also like just a more driver-focused version of that. And what they basically do is they ship the car to a track. Then you can drive it at the track. There's a whole team to change wheels, make sure everything is fine, set it up as you'd like it to be. Go for a track day, and then they take it back to Ferrari and service and do whatever. So they make a lot of money because the car, like, it's yours, but it's not even just yours. Like, it sits at Ferrari. Like, they take care of it. You basically come in and drive the track day. But I mean, that's actually a great way to get to know the car, drive it as quickly as you can, and it's in a safe-ish environment. Like, you're on a track day. It's not just on a road.
Well, most of the times you're like the only guy on the track, so that's even better. You don't have to just worry about other people.
And you also have the insurance of when the car's at you have a team working on it, but also the car's at Ferrari throughout the year. It's not, at one of your locations. You're not driving it every day. Like, if it's there, you can stress about it. But if it's at Ferrari, you're like, okay, cool.
They're taking care.
And it's not. Some people would complain, but what if I want to drive it any day I'd like, but let's be honest, if you have that car, there's probably a lot of other cars you also have. And you don't necessarily have the time to drive it, every single 2 weeks or every single month even. I think it's a clever program.
Definitely. But BAC back.
Back the BAC Mono.
That's also the same model. You have the car, it's like a...
Oh, really? So it's not...
it's the same model where they also take the car to a track and they have a team, because it's basically a F1 car for normal people. So
doesn't it? It has a Focus RS engine, I think.
It's 2.3. It's not as hectic as a F1, but it gives you like the same driver experience. I would say. So it's quite cool.
Have you seen the videos of people driving F1 cars? Like, so Renault, I think they took like their 2012 or 2010 or something F1 car, and then they do not passenger laps, but like normal people laps basically. So then one could drive it around the track, but it was heavily detuned, like to 50% of the power and something. And people would step out of that and say like, oh my word, best experience ever, like most visceral. And then you just realize, what? Like, these guys drive a oldish F1 car on detuned power, and it's like the best thing ever. Just imagine F1.
Full power F1.
Just imagine which is the pinnacle, basically.
So my passion is with, as you can see, like or hear from my chatting, is like the technology within cars, and especially internal combustion engines. Electric cars are quite interesting with the amount of power you can get from like a small volume thing. But that's where my passion is, and how much can you actually get in terms of like fuel efficiency, power to fuel efficiency ratio as well, power to weight things, getting the power through to the back wheels, efficient drivetrain systems, brakes, you know. It's that's the inner workings of a car. And I like to play with my Polo sometimes and just go like at a high speed into a corner just to like get that feeling and just see like where is the limits of a car sometimes. Like you can feel with a car like it wants to slide left and you're just like, no, whoa. But that's where my passion is. And that's why like also rallying is very cool. Because that's where it's something where you can take like a very basic type of car and you can just like go on a dirt road and just push it to its limits, like where you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, that's the thing, like pushing a car to its limits. Most people would like drive a supercar, but of course they won't drive it near its limits. Like 90% won't drive it near its limits because they just don't know how or they're way too scared. And often the advice would be from more professional drivers is get yourself like a Mazda MX-5 or like a Toyota 86 or just something like just take even your Polo, right? Get yourself something cheap, low powered and drive it to its absolute limits. Like, you know, as safe as you can go, but like as far as you can go and get comfortable with driving it to its limits and, you know, pinning the right foot in the corner. And if you're comfortable with that, then move on.
No, then get something.
Because a lot of people just drive a 911 and like or drive a certain McLaren or like Ferraris because, you know, you can buy it, you have the ability and wow, you know, it went from 0 to 120 kilometers an hour quickly, but there's so much more. I think for the value of the car, the money you're buying it for, there's so much more to be exerted out of that car. So I'm also quite keen to have like a, you know, in the coming years, well, I'm saying like next 20 years or something, like a project car or just something I can strip out, something I can, you know, put some racing suspension in or maybe like limited slip diff or just something and just go racing or like do track days or just, you know, get used to the feeling of taking a car to its potential, then building on that. I think that's an extremely satisfying thing.
Definitely. And as I said, like you learn your car and then you can build up on that, going something more powerful or something that's more agile or something like that. So, very like
Speaking about the Toyota 86, okay? So we said we want to complain about a car. Now let's complain about the 86 for a bit. So I was at a Gymkhana race not too long ago, navigated for someone, like a small Mazda Rustler Bucky. You know those Rustler Buckies? Had like a 2-liter 16 valve naturally aspirated in at like 130, 150 something kilowatt, which was quite powerful. Limited slip diff, racing suspension, racing buckets, Momo steering wheel, hydraulic handbrake. So basically it was set up for Gymkhana. And it was so funny. I enjoyed it so much. And I didn't like, it's a Mazda Rustler Bucky. Like it's an early 2000s, 1990s car. Very simple. And what I like about Gymkhana is that's probably a motorsport where you can, you know, take basically any car and put better suspension in and just go, you know, take a Toyota Etios, take the back seats out and something and just go race, you know, do it, try it. And there was the amount of Toyota 86s where it's uncanny. It's so, they were like a pest just coming in from everywhere. But then you'd see like 86s with like stainless steel pipes. You'd see some with titanium pipes at the back, like quad pipes or 2 pipes. And then you'd see these with like massive wings, lowering kit, like wide body, weird wraps, you know, like tinted windows. You'd hear some of them that's probably modified, or maybe they put a bigger turbo in, maybe they took the turbos out, put a supercharger in, better air intake. So a lot of them were like super modified. Now the Toyota 86 is quite a, as we said earlier also in our conversation, it's quite a cheap way to get into the sport car world. In terms of the Toyota 86 itself, it doesn't have a lot of power, but it's well balanced. It's rear-wheel drive. It's manual. It's a playful car. And then they just take it around and basically mess around with it because you can. It's not too expensive. But anyway, not one of the 86s really knew how to drive well. Like they sort of messed around the track. Gymkhana is all about tight corners, efficiency around this corner, and hitting it on the straights, but going quickly around this corner, taking a quick pull of the hydraulic handbrake, just getting a rear around or something. It's a lot of skill, and those guys just didn't have it. They were just playing around and sort of showing off. They were taking it like a drift race or something. So the bad aspect of an 86 is not the car; it's the drivers. So I don't know. What's your view on the 86?
I think the 86 as per car is a just easy thing getting in. I think it's like the more modern MX-5 or something of some sort. Also like a very down-tuned Supra in some ways. But it's a connotation with people driving it. It's like the guy that feels he has money to spend on something, and then he feels like, but this is like in my price bracket, I want to be sporty, but I can't like afford something but better. So then you rather go for that. Like I even think a 718 Porsche 718 is a better buy than.
But it's way more expensive.
No, it's definitely way more expensive. That's why I said like it's a cheap way to get into it. But as you say, it's like the people driving it. It's people that think they can drive or think they can like do this, but then they basically just show off or they don't achieve anything. Now, I'm not saying all, but like overall, mostly like I know a few guys that have 86s and like that's people that don't have any driving capability at all. So
no, I think it's a good way of looking cool. Like for the average guy, the 86 looks proper. It looks like look at that thing, eh? But then actually, it's the drivers that let it down. It could be so much better.
Definitely.
Could be so much better. Same with the MX-5. Also amazing car. Some even say it's the best sports car in the world in terms of balance and how well it drives. But then the drivers just let it down.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But question, new Toyota 86. I'm not totally sure about the price. I think it's like a bit over 500,000 rand. Okay, so new Toyota 86 or let's say like 2010 Cayman. Porsche Cayman. Yeah. Cayman or Boxster, either or. But remember, those generations, even though it looked horribly ugly, like super bad. Okay, maybe earlier than 2010. But anyway.
No, it was like 24 to like 28.
Yeah. But anyway, like early gen Caymans or Boxsters, but they still had flat sixes in. So, new 86 or early gen Boxster or Cayman.
I'll go for early gen Cayman.
Yeah, same.
Early gen
I'm not sure if they are about problems and reliability and stuff.
No, I won't go for the Boxsters per se. Those Boxsters didn't look too lekker.
Yeah.
But I'll go for the Cayman.
I think the 86 probably does look better than the Cayman with Boxster.
Definitely.
But I don't know. I think it's still a better, more exciting drive.
Yeah, I can't go wrong with that German engineering.
Yeah. Even though it's very early German engineering.
Well, German engineering started very early, so
it's still a Porsche.
Still a Porsche. You can't complain.
Not a
about
Beetle,
that.
Porsche. Okay, but next car up is the car to be excited about, which is something. It's such a cool prospect. It's the Hyundai i20N.
But the whole movement is exciting.
The whole end movement, basically, of what Hyundai is trying to do.
Yeah, it's very exciting. I love it.
The i20N is basically the little brother to the i30N, the infamous i30N who did so well in terms of driver tests, and journalists rated it so well. Did so well against the Focus RS or the Macan RS, those kind of cars. Even though it wouldn't set the best lap times, it's definitely one of the best driver-focused cars. It's manual. You have like a 6-speed manual. Had an awesome 2-liter engine inside. It was just overall such a nice driving car. Had a fun little noise. The i20N is a bit of a baby brother to this. I can't even speak English anymore. But the i20N it looks insane. Like we had a look at the photos. Like the sharp lines. There's this one photo on top here when the left rear wheel was just up in the air.
Oh, it was a hill climb photo, yeah.
Was the hill climb photo?
Hill climb photo, yeah.
It looks
taking the turns.
So cool. And it's the same kind of... It basically is direct competition to the Fiesta ST. which is also a 3-wheel drive car, because there's always 3 wheels up in the ground. There's basically always a rear wheel up somewhere in the air. But yeah, just quickly on the stats, has about 150 kilowatts, 270 newton meters, and a 1.6 turbo that it kicks ass. It goois kohle, as we would also say. But yeah, what's your quick thoughts on the i20N?
Looking good, eh? I can't complain, looking very good. I think it's exciting to see brands such as Hyundai with this Toyota, GR, Yaris, of course. Well, I think the movement, as we say, is very nice, giving some competition to the brands that are settled into the system as Ford and so on.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, i20N, I think it's going to be exciting. I want to see one on the road, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see one.
The i30N took some time to come to South Africa. There is 1 or 2 year, even though not as much. But I'm glad it's not like the RS3 or the i45, who, it's unbelievable cars, very, very fast and everything, but it's not that exciting to drive. Like, it's not like, hot hatch should be something you can just throw around and go quickly around a corner and everything. Yes, you can do that in A45 and RS3, but those cars are so developed,
But I think something nice about i20N is also it's built on the WRC car.
Yes,
it's the same as the
rally car.
It's built on a rally car. So I think the technology coming down, I think it's very focused driving ability, as I said, also like 6-speed manual. So I think it's going to be exciting thing to just like take out, throw around the corner, just enjoy, and also it says like 150 kilowatts, so it's not going to be like over powerful. It's not going to be like a Golf R that's around about 200 kilowatt. It's just like
not even a GTI.
Yeah, you're just going to feel a bit uneasy when you're going that fast. But
it's probably going to be Polo GTI.
Yeah, Polo
levels.
GTI levels. Yeah, definitely.
And maybe a bit smaller also. So if in any way it's linked to the WRC or the rally car, super cool. Like, who doesn't love that agility and that balance and that competent driving ability coming through?
And also, like, Hyundai was world champs in 2019. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
So it's looking good.
There's some pedigree.
There's some pedigree around this car.
Usually, in terms of when cars were based on the racing cars, or earlier years where cars were even the race, like the road cars were the racing cars.
Yeah.
If it would win on Sunday, it'd sell on Monday. That was sort of a rule of thumb.
Yeah.
And these days, maybe it's not the same. People don't buy A-Class because Mercedes wins F1. That's not how it works. But still, any racing pedigree of sort is like a, tip of the hat to you.
Yeah. They're doing something right.
So our last segment we wanted to do, so we quickly thought of this idea just before. So we're going to choose a 3-car garage, but how it works is we will give it, so it's 3 segments, hot hatch, family car, supercar, but then we give each other an option between 2 cars. So you'll give me the option between 2, I'll give him the option between 2 for each of these segments. And then basically that's like a, sort of call it your friend's dream car garage for you. That's basically what it is.
Basically.
Because you can't choose your own. But anyway, so Nico, you say you have some interesting...
Yes, but I'm going to take out my list because I sort of forgot what I actually wrote down.
Okay, but you said some good hot hatches.
Yeah, but you're going to enjoy this one. I'm going to throw you some bangers.
Okay, please do.
So, hot hatches.
Okay.
Would you rather take the Renault 5 Turbo 2 or the Golf Mark 1 GTI?
Ooh. Renault 5 Turbo 2
pick your poison.
Was it? Yes, like it just looks so beefy, even though still small, very agile. The turbo, the character turbo adds in that generation of car, which is like what, 70s, 80s, I think 80s. But also the GTI Mark 1, it's such a compelling... I'll probably go Renault 5 Turbo 2.
Ooh.
I think by far
it was
just...
a trendsetter, that car.
It sort of excites me a bit more. It's something else than just like a... Okay, I'm not going to say just like a Mark 1 GTI. But, I don't know. The Renault 5 Turbo was also a rally car.
Yeah, that was
so
true.
So that's what makes it very, very exciting. Okay, no, Renault 5, definitely.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so for you, You like Volkswagens a lot, okay? So I'm going with Peugeot 205 GTI, okay? Which is like 1980s. Peugeot 205 GTI, arguably one of the best, hard hatches ever. Or, okay, are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
A brand new, which you can't get in South Africa, Fiesta ST, which is also such a compelling prospect.
Sure. That's
brand new.
Yes, but you're not making it easy for me. Eh? Okay, maar I must admit, like, man, it wasn't easy. Just like.
Do you want analog?
The Peugeot, just like it was something else.
It was unbelievable. Like
Something
Chris
else.
Harris has one, like for himself. Like it's one of the most exciting cars for him.
But also then it's a Fiesta ST. It's not gonna be sold in South Africa.
Not even the new, new one is not even sold in South Africa.
Really? So, but you get it on the right-hand drive.
So, let's say there was a right-hand drive version.
Okay, there was a right-hand drive. Sure. I think I'll probably go for the ST.
The ST.
I'll go for the Fiesta ST.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want the new? Do you just like the newer car?
Yeah, I think it's very nice. Like I want to say technology, and as well as it's just improved so much throughout the years. Handling all the gizmos you get within the car, and it looks good.
Yeah.
So I'll go for
I'm
that.
also quite split between those two, but I'd maybe also take the ST just because it is newer. Like it is, there's a lot more amenities and sort of creature comforts that makes it nice, but also it's a 205. It's like the 205 is almost like the simplest form of fun driving. Okay, so I'll give you my options now for the family car.
Yes.
Okay, family car. This could be anything. Okay?
Anything, literally anything.
Okay.
So, but it has to have 4 people. Can at least like take 4 people.
Okay. So, Hilux Legend 50.
Yeah.
Okay. Hilux Legend 50.
Oh, the 2.8.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
No, well, yeah. Sorry, yeah. 2.8. Okay. Hilux Legend. So the new Legend. I'm talking. Okay, not the Legend 50. The Legend. The Legend RS 2.8.
Yeah.
Which looks better in my point of view. I think it does.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, so whatever top spec Legend, okay?
Yeah.
Or a brand new, which you also don't get in South Africa yet, A4 all-road.
Ooh.
It's not even sports cars, I know. Okay, no, wait. No. I lie. Okay, no.
What?
No, I'd rather... Let's keep those. I'm
No,
not
you can't retract.
No, I'm
now.
changing it. I'm not retracting. Retracting. Okay,
So, top.
So like
A top
of the
Hilux.
line Hilux, okay, which is either Legend
But can
50
I-
or like the Legend RS.
Then what can I take the Raider order?
Do you just want a Raider?
I'd rather take the Raider.
Then a Legend?
Oh, the Legend with all the bumpers and stuff don't look like a
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like the bumpers.
Dakar.
Yeah. Okay, the Dakar one looks nice.
Okay, whatever Hilux you'd like, okay?
Okay.
So your favorite Hilux or a A4 all-road?
I think I'll go for the Hilux at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like, the Hilux, the new Legend Hilux, not looking that lacquer for me. The only one I like is the one that comes like the olive green color.
Yeah.
That looks good.
No,
But
I
like,
love the new
I
Hilux.
I saw one that's like white or grey, and I saw a grey one as well. And like all the plastic bumpers and trims like doesn't.
Oh, you don't like it?
No, I don't like it.
I love the
But
lights.
But I like my brother has a Legend 50 Kamenhof. He has a 2.8.
That's
4x2.
super cool.
So that's quite a nice bucky. So yeah, I'll take the Hilux rather, just because like I'm on the farm and everything.
I wouldn't have expected less.
But the
I'm proud
A4
of
all
you.
road,
Potent.
oof.
You can go anywhere.
You can go literally anywhere.
Anywhere the Hilux can go, the A4 all-road can probably
Or
also.
you can go Quattro, papa.
Yeah, but you'll just be more comfortable going anywhere in a Hilux.
Yeah, and you can like throw some like wood and stuff on the back. Take a braai. with
Like
you.
a braai.
Like a tit.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Cool. Okay. So mine for the family. I don't think you're going to expect this one. Okay, you're going to expect the first one. So, Amarok V6.
Okay.
190 kilowatt.
Yeah,
the new one.
Yeah, that's also giftig, yeah.
And then a Hyundai H1 bus.
Oh, Amarok V6. I'm not even going to struggle. No, Amarok by far, because you basically put a cab at the back, or like a, what do you call it? Canopy at the back. Yeah. And that's your H1 cab. I love a little bus. I wouldn't take the H1. I would rather take something like the Combi or the Caravelle. The T6 especially. If you would have given me the choice between the T6 and the T6 Caravelle or Combi the Amarok, I'd probably have taken the Caravelle.
Ooh.
So, but in terms of family car, I'm keen for anything with a tow bar, roof racks.
Yeah, that helps quite a lot.
Four-wheel drive. Not necessarily buckies or SUVs, but
just opens possibilities to doing things.
Just endless. It's something. You know what I saw the other day? I saw so it was a C63 wagon, okay, like 2012 or something.
Yeah.
Which is like quite a cool generation of that C-Class. Roof racks and a tow bar with a tail ledged on.
Sure.
And for some, like, it was an empty trailer, but for some reason I was just like, yes. Like it just sort of ignited something. I was like, yes, I would love to see this going on a holiday or something. So that's very cool. Okay, supercars.
Okay, supercar. Ready for this? But you can't bring in your bias now.
Okay, fair.
No Porsche bias now.
I would have immediately just said Porsche, but fine.
No,
fine.
But you have to think about this.
Okay,
now.
fine. I'll think about it.
Lexus LFA.
Wow.
Or
Carrera GT.
Porsche Carrera GT.
So both have basically two of the best sounding cars, V10s you can get. The LFA is basically, and then the Carrera GT, I mean, race-derived V10 engine.
What a trendsetter.
You know,
I know you want a Porsche.
I'm going to say Carrera GT, but I'm going to put it logically. Okay, so the LFA is a automatic or like a dual clutch.
Yeah, it's dual
but clutch. It's quite of a dated dual clutch. It's like 2010 already.
Yeah.
The Carrera GT is a manual, very different. Yeah.
2004.
5. Yes. So it's a very different type of manual. It's a sort of a difficult manual to drive. It has like a lightweight flywheel. It has an anti-stall clutch. And that's for many people very difficult to manage. But anyway, manual, so you don't really get old of it. Or tired of it rather. And also a removable roof.
Yeah, obviously. It's like a Targa top basically.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So... Okay, so firstly say, what's your favorite supercar brand?
Porsche.
Okay.
We talked about this previously,
I just had to let the people know. No, the people don't know. The people don't know your Porsche brand. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're both Porsche buyers, so...
Okay.
Please bear with us.
Okay. This is going to be a hectic one.
Okay, yeah. Gooi hom.
McLaren F1.
I almost picked that one for you as well.
Okay, McLaren F1 or... 918 Spider. This is like a 205 GTI Fiesta ST battle.
Why are you doing this with
It's a good battle though.
Why are you doing this to me?
Okay, 918 Spider or McLaren F1.
The McLaren F1 was just like...
It cost 14 times the price of a 918 Spider.
Something
out of this world.
A single seater in the middle as like...
Triple-seater.
Gold-plated
engine bay. It has a BMW V12.
The Johan Rupert has one. Have you seen Johan Rupert's?
Yes.
Yeah, he has one. I was like, what?
What even?
Yeah, but the 918 Spider, that was also... That was like P1, McLaren P1 and LaFerrari.
That was Holy Trinity type of vibes.
Yeah. And like the 918 is like the modern equivalent of a Carrera GT. It has the same like body line, shape and everything. You're not making it easy for me.
Yeah.
Why? I made it easy for you. I didn't give you bad options.
I'm gonna give you a last chance.
Last chance.
F1
okay.
or 918 Spider.
Okay. Now, I'll go for the F1.
F1. Okay.
I'll go for the F1. I think
Reasoning?
it was like the first of its kind, actually. First, like, not a supercar, but like a hypercar stuff, you know? Before Bugatti Veyron, Chiron, all those. I think it's a massive trendsetter and something that started on the movement, because it was also just before the Carrera GT.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I was just thinking of the garages we have at the moment. So you're having a new Fiesta ST.
Yeah.
Hilux, normal Raider, and then or Dakar, whatever, and then a F1 in the garage.
Yeah.
And then for me, it's what did I choose as the hard hatch?
Turbo.
Oh, Renault 5 Turbo 2.
Yeah.
Family car was a Amarok V6 with a canopy, of course.
And a Carrera GT.
GT.
That's not too bad.
It's actually.
I had some sort of the same line of thought, actually.
Yeah.
With picking these and like
normal-ish family car.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't want people to know, what type of cars we have when we drive in the road with an Amarok or your Hilux. But we both going bakkies, actually. That's very Afrikaans of us.
That is very Afrikaans of us.
Okay.
We are Afrikaans.
Yeah, we are Afrikaans. Nico, it's been quite a show.
Yes.
I want to thank you for joining for the first one. First of many.
First of many, definitely.
We had a chat. I want to thank you again for joining, for listening. Thank you for continuous support and following. Of course, We're just getting better. The podcast is not going to just stay the podcast. There's new things to come in the future. So thank you. If you are listening and still enjoying this, please maybe take time to share, subscribe, any of those things. This is not just for our pride, but rather for the fact that we can continually share the joy and share the passion that we have for cars. But usually as we end of the episode, I rather love cars because it's way better than loving drugs.
Definitely, most definitely.
Cheers.
Cheers, lekker.
Have a good one.